Hey y'all, welcome to Crepe Myrtle Row. My name is Lisa. Today we're going to tour my living room. I have put it back together since taking Christmas down and everything. I don't do winter decor. I just go straight to my spring type decor. So let's just get started. Okay, before I turn the camera around and we get started, I'll tell you a little bit about my room. This house, because I have a lot of new subscribers here that may not know, this house is a 1971 or 72. I can't even think about it now. But it's a brick ranch. It was my husband's childhood home. And my living room was an original carport for this house. Hence the brick wall right here. My in-laws had it built in, and probably in the early 80s, I believe. And so it's a long, narrow room. And I've very eclectic with my design. I would say I lean towards cottage, vintage cottage style more than anything. And I will also say about 95% of this room is thrifted, even some of the furniture in here. And when I say thrifted, I've mentioned this before, that doesn't just mean thrift store. It could be antique store, estate sales, yard sales, Etsy, eBay, all of those things. So just keep that in mind. I'm a maximalist, so I have a lot of decor, and I love it. And it's very cozy, and my husband and I and my family, we all enjoy it. So let me turn the camera around and we'll get started. So I'm just going to start right here, stepping out of my kitchen. If you watched my kitchen tour, you might have remembered right here when I was showing the kitchen, there's the laundry room, and this is this room here. Right on the side of my entertainment center, I have a couple of some crewel embroidery, and then that's a cross stitch piece that I found. And yes, I know you can see all the wiring and stuff back in there. And then I'll turn back around this way, and then just added some architectural details here if this is your first time seeing it. I love architectural salvage, so anytime I can add pieces in, I do. And I love a garden-like theme, so I've added lots of things up here. And that rabbit back there, it's almost 3 foot tall. Let me see if I can get a little bit better view of it. And I'll insert a picture here of what it looked like. I did buy that new at, I think it was Home Goods. And it was white with a green ribbon, looked very much like Easter Bunny. And I was wanting more of something to look like a garden statue. So I did a paint job myself, or actually I didn't repaint it. I just took some gel stain, stained it, and then I went back, dry brushed a little bit of green on it, and then as you can see, there's like faux moss that's got the peel and stick moss, and just ripped off pieces and put on there. And then just other, like there's a spindle from a staircase or a porch or something, and that duck there is, or swan, is solid wood. I got it many years ago at a yard sale. And like everything else other than that rabbit and the greenery up here is all thrifted. And I love birds, especially the bluebirds. So I have them everywhere. That is a vintage card there. I'm not sure if that one has a date on it. 1910. That's what that one is from. And a collection of my hen and chicks. I did sell a few of these that I had on my Etsy store last year, because I had quite a few, and I had several just like that, so I sold a few of those. And then, y'all, I'm not the best at flower arranging. That is not my forte. I just start sticking things in and hope for the best. But this lady vase here, I actually bought her with the intentions, and she is a new one as well. I bought her with the intentions of putting her out on my porch come spring and putting a real plant in the top. But for now, I just threw together this arrangement with some flowers I had in my stash, you know, just to have something to look at until I can get that, which will probably be sometime in April before I put her outside. And then just a few collections of my garden books, which I have quite a library of garden books. And then that's a vintage shutter that used to be hanging over my bay window. And I get asked about this jar a lot. There's actually a hole in the back. That's how I'm able to get the stuff inside there. And just some pieces down there. An old tray. And then that was, I think, off of a headboard or above a mirror or something. I'm pretty sure it might have been a headboard though. But we added it there and painted it when I redid this room. And then this is my gallery wall, where I just add a little bit of everything. I love the very vintage old frames, especially if they have the gold tint to them. And that one right there is an actual oil painting. And you'll see how it's messed up right there. The other day I opened the door and this picture come crashing down, taking that one with it. Thankfully, it didn't break anything, but it did dent that frame up really bad. And I can't for the life of me figure out why it came loose. The hanger was a good hanger that was in there, and it didn't look ripped out or anything, but it, you know, the hanger came out with it. So, don't know what happened, but I since then put in the J-hook type hangers that you put in, or monkey hooks, whatever. They're different, called different things. So it's not gonna rip out. And just have some of my plates up there. Some more vintage artwork. And then these two are also original oil paintings. Those are not prints. And y'all are gonna see holes that I need to go around and patch these holes. It's where I've had different things hanging in different places, and I need to patch them and then touch up the paint. But you know, that's a whole big thing, a job. So I haven't done it yet. And then just some more artwork. I think the thing about doing a cottage style is you don't have to worry about things matching. Like, none of this really matches, but once you put it all together, I think it looks, it goes. And then I just took this and put it over my couch. And the reason being is this couch is new to us. We bought it from a friend because my old couch that matched my love seat was so worn out that it was killing both mine and my husband's backs to sit in it. And I got to looking at new couches, and they were, for leather ones, which we wanted, were $3,000 and up. And I about choked. So, and I know that's probably a low end for some, you know, nicer brand couches. And at this time, I just was not wanting to spend that. And so I went on Marketplace, found this one, and it turns out it was my friend who grew up in that house right there. Isn't that crazy? He grew up right across the street from us, and he was selling it, so we bought it from him. And this one, I mean, it's leather too, but as you can see, it's a different color. So I covered it up with this bedspread, and then that gave it more of the cottage feel. And then I added this table back in here with some more of my books that I get from the thrift stores and stuff. And then I love getting them out and looking at them constantly while I'm here. And I just bought this today. It looks like a little miniature lamp, but it's a wax warmer. That's the melted wax you put in up there. I found that at Walmart. Just love that. And then there is a cloche. I think I took that off of a clock. I can't remember now for sure, but I'm thinking that's how I got that one. I thrifted the clock and it didn't work, so I kept that. And then the bottom piece was a milk glass piece for something totally different, but it fit perfectly. And there was a few of them little pocket-sized Bibles that I had. And I've seen other people do this with cloches, and I love the idea, and I just could never figure out, where am I gonna put this? And then it dawned on me when I did this room to put it there. And then there's a thrifted basket that I just keep magazines in, and y'all, I love my magazines. And I do get a lot of those at antique stores and thrift stores because you can get them so much cheaper. And quickly, I know this is a mess. For those of you who are new to my channel, you may not know I have an obsession with adult coloring books. Like doing that. So most of the time, I cannot just sit and watch TV. I have to multitask. And while I'm watching TV, I'm coloring. And I've got markers, pens, everything you can name it. As you can see, I have quite an obsession with all of it. And I do this continuously at night. I sit there, I might color 2 or 3 pages because they do take a while, you know, before I go to bed. But that's just an obsession of mine. And it helps feed my creative brain. You know, I get all these ideas and creativity that I need to get out. And the coloring books is the thing I can sit there and do. And I'm not worried about shading and trying to make it look like artwork. I'm just a fill in the blank type girl. I just need to fill in the little spots with color. So that's what I do all the time. And then here is a shelf that used to be in here. We took it down about 3 years ago when we redid this room by doing the ceilings and floors and painting and everything. And I decided I wanted it back up. My dad actually made that for me many years ago. I do have to paint it. It didn't, you know, when I had it up before, it didn't look bad, but it's been stored out in my husband's building for a while. So now it needs a paint job, but I was wanting it up so bad that I said, just put it up, and then later in the spring, I'll actually paint it. But it just gave me some more spaces to add things. And the curtains are new. I ordered those from Amazon. They are Waverly Spring Bling, I think is the pattern. It's kind of the same pattern as what this is on the couch. It just doesn't look it with the 2 different lights. And then those big brass swans, I put those up there. And I shared that in my last thrift haul, the bird cage. That will go outside with a real plant in it come spring. And I have a faux little mini greenhouse that I'll probably sit right there and fix up somehow. And that's my husband's side of the room. You know, he has his stuff down in there. That was the flag from when his father passed. And his grandpa is actually in that picture. He was in World War II. Kind of hard to see with the glare. And that is another original piece of artwork. I think that was done with chalk pastels. And it was in a different type of frame. And then I found that frame and put it in it. Oh, and then I didn't share. When we redid the room, I had found those corbels. And then about a year ago, I thrifted that piece. So finally got around to hanging it up there. And yes, if this is your first time, this part of the ceiling is lower than the rest. Like I said, this was a carport. And for some, I don't know really what the reasoning was, but that part of the ceiling was dropped down. And when I went to redo this room, it was either drop the whole ceiling down to that height or leave the step, and I just chose to leave the step and actually just accentuate that area with these architectural pieces. And that's part of the brick wall that was the original side of the house. And I'm so glad my in-laws, when they enclosed this room, they left that, because I love the brick wall. And then here is just a shelf with some faux plants. I know that's kind of crazy. I'm into, gardening as much as I am, and I even have a greenhouse that is full of houseplants, but I don't want them in my house. I know that sounds crazy. One is the only place I can really set them is right there, and then that's more difficult to get to water and stuff. And then those shelves, the plants I have are bigger than what these shelves are, so they wouldn't fit there. And so I'd rather have them out on my porch in the spring, in the greenhouse in the wintertime. And then everything in here is the faux ones, and I don't have to worry about watering them. And then if this is your first time seeing this, this is a fireplace surround that was made out of doors. These were the side lights. That was the actual door we cut down and put on top. And then it was white and chippy, and then I just added the green paint and then painted the fireplace and everything to kind of blend in with it. And the swans are new. Those came from TJ Maxx, I believe it was where I found those. And some more architectural pieces there. And then here are more of my birds and vintage books. And I love the blue-green kind of color scheme. Oh yeah, that's an original oil painting, and I love it. I love the mountains, I love the rivers, and that is a theme in a lot of these. I was noticing the other day, they do have water or mountains in them. So that's one. And then this one over here is another one that's an original oil painting with the mountains and the water. The rocking chair there that my father-in-law had started to strip down the paint to repaint it, and I absolutely loved the way it looked when he had it at this point, and I asked him could I have it, and he let me have it. And it's just perfect with all the chippy paint. I know some of it gets covered up by this blanket, but I just loved it. And then there's another vintage shutter, and then I love the buttocks baskets, which are those that are shaped like that. And then my husband loves collecting walking sticks, and I show this all the time. He actually carved that one, the face end of that one, and this one is hard to see. He carved this one's made to look like a dog face, like there's his nose and stuff. It's just harder to focus on that one. And just added more of that up there. And then I did just buy this rug, and I know that's a bold thing, and I put it on my Instagram, a poll, do you like it or no? It's no way. And the majority of everyone said they loved it. There was a few that out of, I forget how many that actually answered it, but there's only like 4 that didn't like it. But I loved it. It's a bold statement, but it's the floral look, and I love my flowers in here. It does bring in a few other colors, and then that matches my walls. The leaves there go with my door well, so I loved it. And I guess that's what matters. What makes us happy in our own homes. We don't have to do trends or try to copy something that, like when the farmhouse style. And I mean, if you like the farmhouse style, that's great. I liked it too. But all that neutral color just about drove me crazy. I could not do neutral. I like color, and I can't do minimal stuff. I like a lot of things. So there, you see every space is covered. except right above there. And don't put it past me if I found something to go there that wouldn't go there. And I know you're probably thinking, you don't have room for anything else, but I can always find room. But anyhow, I hope y'all enjoyed this video, and leave me a thumbs up if you did. And if you don't already subscribe to my channel, I would love for you to join my YouTube family. And come over to Instagram and follow me there. Sometimes I share pictures on there in between getting videos out and stuff. So just come on over there and check me out there, and I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.